Warm up for Lesson 1-1 Expressions and Formulas. Go ahead and pause the video, try the problem, and then continue to check your answer. Pause once again. Pause once again. Pause once again. The objective for this lesson is to use the order of operations to evaluate expressions and use formulas. On this page, we define variables, algebraic expressions, and order of operations. These are the order of operations steps. You may have learned it with the acronym PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication in order from left to right, addition and subtraction in order from left to right. Let's take a look at the example that is being done. You can see they simplify the problem by first substituting, replacing the variables, and then they go ahead and simplify the parentheses expression, and then we get a sum. Again, order of operation has us doing the exponent first, and then we get the answer. Let's take a look at guided practice. You can see that I have already substituted the values, so now all I have to do is evaluate. So I'm going to evaluate what's inside the parentheses, which is going to be a 4. Now I have to decide whether to do exponents or addition, and I'm going to do exponents, and then I can do the addition last, which is 28. Again, I want to do multiplication and addition in order from left to right, which means I have multiplying and dividing here, so I have to go from left to right, which means I have to go do the 12 divided by 2, which is 6, and then I must do multiplication before addition, and then the answer is -2. Pause and try this problem on your own. And the answer is A. Let's evaluate algebraic expressions, and again, these are a little bit more complex. Let's take a look at these two examples. You can see that we have quite a bit going on with some addition, multiplication, exponents, and subtraction. So what we want to do is, after we substitute, we want to take care of what's inside the parentheses, and then we have this multiplication problem with an exponent. We want to evaluate the exponent first. Then we want to do the multiplication, and the very last step is to do the addition. Now in part B, this is quite an interesting expression. We have a division problem, and in this case you want to evaluate the numerator and denominator separately. So we're going to view the numerator and follow order of operation for the numerator, and we're going to follow order of operation for the denominator. And that's what's happening over here, and then we can evaluate and then simplify. All right, let's go ahead and do this problem. Again, I have already done the work here of substituting. All I got to do is evaluate. So here's a multiplication problem going on here, and over here there's a parentheses with a multiplication. So I know that all this together has to be done, and all this together has to be done. So this is going to be 16, and I know that 0.5 is the same thing as a half, plus 4 times. Now I know this is going to be 4 take away 0.5, which is going to be 3.5, or I'm just going to say 7/2. Now when I do that, then I know that this is going to be 8, and I know that that is going to be 14. And that way I don't have to pull out my calculator to multiply, and then this will be 22. In this case, I want to do what's inside the parentheses, and when I square that negative number, it's going to be positive, and then the answer is 0. Over here, again, I want to do the numerator all on its own, and I can see right here there's a subtraction going on, but I want to do the exponent, and I want to do this portion right here. So this is going to be 1 minus 3. Now I know this is going to be 16, and I know this is a half. This is going to be -1 plus 2. So I know that this is going to be an 8. 1 take away, and 8 times 3 is 24, all over 1. And then this is just going to be -23. Okay, your turn. Go ahead and pause. And D is the answer. Go ahead and pause. And C is the answer. Okay, using formulas. Geometry had quite a few formulas that we use, and this is a geometric formula that describes the volume of a cone. And you can see that similar to what we had before, we just substitute those values and follow order of operation. In this particular problem, I have the formula and I've substituted all the values. Notice that I did take 3.5 and I substituted 7/2 instead. And the reason I did that is because then I can do some reducing and I can get the answer. And again, I didn't have to go to the calculator to do that. And this is going to be feet cubed because this is a volume expression. Okay, go ahead and pause. And here's the answer. Last problem, you need to pause and figure out where the error is. And the error is in Rico's approach. Lauren is right because she followed the order of operations. Rico, -12 minus 20 does not equal +8.